independence, before it was signed, I believe a few days before, the southern states crossed off any idea of slavery that Jefferson had written in there, which was kind of interesting. And so again, I guess that's probably what I wanted to introduce a bit. Just a moment here. Maybe a little, and see another short oration of Frederick Douglass, again, where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and degrade them, neither persons nor property will be safe. And just a little bit about Frederick Douglass, for those of even me too. Oh, by the way, when I had this idea and I told Carl wrote back to me, Harvey, you know his speech was an hour and a half long. How are we going to fit it in? I said, I've got the Reader's Digest version for us this morning, so that's okay. So, yeah, born into slavery on the eastern shore of Maryland, Frederick Douglass was sent at the age of 10 to labor for a family in Baltimore, where his slave master's sympathetic wife taught him the rudiments of reading and writing. With no formal schooling, Douglass educated himself by reading everything he could get his hands on. He took his last name from the hero of Sir Walter Scott's epic poem, Lady at the Lake, of the Lake. In his late teens, he was hired out to a cruel man whom he defied in an act of great moral and physical courage. Disguised as a sailor, the 20-year-old Douglass escaped to New York and began his extraordinary career as an abolitionist, orator, writer, newspaper publisher, and government official. Douglass published 3 autobiographical books. The first and most influential of these, Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American slave written by himself, 1845. And the book discusses the victims of slavery and the barbaric crimes inflicted upon them. It was an immediate success and today is considered a classic slave narrative. A powerful physical presence and a superb orator, Douglass dramatically preached freedom and independence for slaves. His speech, What to the Slave is the 4th of July, may be the greatest statement ever of moral and physical harm of slavery, while exposing the hypocrisy of the white people for their founding ideals. As an early champion of women's rights, he printed the motto, "Right is of no sex, truth is of no color," on the masthead of his abolitionist paper. Let's see. So, yeah, he's a champion of women's rights, and his vision was so international in scope, he advocated fair treatment for working people in England, Ireland, and Scotland. Yet his most important work continued to be here in the US. During the Civil War, Douglass wrote, "We are fighting for unity, unity of ideas, unity of sentiment, unity of object, unity of institutions in which there shall be no north, no south, no east, no west, no black, no white, but a solidarity of the nation, making every slave free and every free man a voter." So maybe it's time to start reading his extraordinary speech here. The first part, maybe Anita, would you read the first part? There's a microphone someplace here.
What to the Slave is the 4th of July by Frederick Douglass, July 5th, 1852. The papers and placards say that I am to deliver a 4th of July oration. It is the birthday of your national independence and of your political freedom. I shall not presume to dwell at length on the associations that cluster about this day. Oppression makes a wise man mad. Your fathers were wise men, and if they did not go mad, they became restive under this treatment. The freedom gained is yours. Therefore, you may properly celebrate this anniversary. Cling to this day. Cling to it and its principles with the grasp of a storm-tossed mariner to a spar at midnight. Fellow citizens, I am not wanting in respect for the fathers of this republic. They were peacemen, but they preferred revolution to peaceful submission to bondage. With them, nothing was settled that was not right. With them, justice, liberty, and humanity were final, not slavery and oppression. You may well cherish the memory of such men. Friends and citizens, I need not further enter into the causes which led to this anniversary. Many of you understand them better than I do. You could instruct me in regard to them. My business, if I have any here today, is with the present. We have to do with the past only as we can make it useful to the present and to the future.
Sean next. Thank you, Benito.
Fellow citizens, pardon me. Allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence? I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us, the rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn. To drag a man in fetters into the grand illuminated temple of liberty and call upon him to join you in joyous anthems is inhumane mockery. Do you mean, citizens, to mock me by asking me to speak today? Above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions whose chains, heavy and grievous yesterday, are today rendered more intolerable by the jubilant shouts that reach them. My subject, then, fellow citizens, is American slavery.
Thank you, Sean.
Whether we turn to the declarations of the past or to the professions of the present, the conduct of the nation seems equally hideous and revolting. America is false to the past, false to the present, and solemnly binds herself to be false to the future. Standing with God and the crushed and bleeding slave on this occasion, I will, in the name of humanity, which is outraged, in the name of liberty, which is fettered, in the name of the Constitution and the Bible, which are disregarded and trampled upon, dare to call in question and to denounce with all the emphasis I can command everything that serves to perpetuate slavery, the great sin and shame of America. I will use the severest language I can command, and yet not one word shall escape me that any man whose judgment is not blinded by prejudice, or who is not at heart a slaveholder, shall not confess to be right and just. But I fancy I hear one of my audience say, it is just in this circumstance that you and your brother abolitionists fail to make a favorable impression on the public mind? Would you argue more and denounce less? Would you persuade more and rebuke less? Your cause would be much more likely to succeed. But I submit, where all is plain, there is nothing to be argued. What point in the anti-slavery creed would you have me argue? Must I argue that a system thus marked with blood and stained with pollution is wrong? No, I will not. I have better employments for my time and strength.
Thank you, Sue.
At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument is needed. Oh, had I the ability and could I reach the nation's ear, I would today pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened. The conscience of the nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed, and its crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days of the year. The gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham, your boasted liberty, an unholy license, your national greatness, swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciations of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence, your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery, your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy. A thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour.
Thank you, Rachel. Okay, Tom, you're on.
Go where you may, search where you will, roam through all the monarchies and despotisms of the old world, travel through South America, search every house, and when you have found the last, lay your facts by the side of everyday practices of this nation, and you will say with me that for revolting barbarity and shameless hypocrisy, America reigns without a rival. Americans, your Republican politics are flagrantly inconsistent. The existence of slavery in this country brands your Republicanism as a sham, your humanity as a base pretense, and your Christianity as a lie. It destroys your moral power abroad. It corrupts your politicians at home. It saps the foundation of religion. It makes your name a hissing and a byword to a mocking earth. It is the antagonistic force in your government, the only thing that seriously disturbs and endangers your union. It fetters your progress. It is the enemy of improvement, the deadly foe of education. It fosters pride. It breeds insolence. It promotes vice. It shelters crime. It is a curse to the earth that supports it, and yet you cling to it as if it were the sheet anchor of all your hopes. Oh, be warned, A horrible reptile is coiled up in your nation's bosom. The venomous creature is nursing at the tender breasts of your youthful republic. For the love of God, tear away and fling from you the hideous monster, and let the weight of 20 millions crush and destroy it forever. Allow me to say in conclusion, notwithstanding the dark picture I have this day presented of the state of the nation, I do not despair of this country. There are forces in operation which must inevitably work the downfall of slavery. The arm of the Lord is not shortened, and the doom of slavery is certain. I therefore leave off where I began, with hope.
Thank you, Don. So thank you to all you fine readers. And I was just thinking, who created this? I mean, about 1/3 of the country was for the British, 1/3 was for independence, the other third didn't give a hang. And in this liberty, rich, white, Protestant men, nobody else. This, I was thinking about this speech. Does it have reference for today? Could it be spoken today? I kind of see nodding heads. I think there's general agreement here. So, yes, there's work to do. And again, I was thinking he was a slave, and yet he had this hope, and he could be gentle to the people that founded the nation. I think that was great. I couldn't do that. I'd be angry as the devil, and I wouldn't say any good words, but he was the kind of man that you can look up to. Yeah.
Spoken today, but he would be fired.
Perhaps those are very accurate words. Okay.
Did you repeat them, say?
Pardon?
Did you repeat? They could be so-
Oh, he could say the speech today, but he'd be fired or jailed or something like that. Yes, we can't have something like that around. Expressing all this untruthful lies. Yes. Carl, you want to finish up a little bit here? What do you want to do? What time is it? Is it time to- Oh,